The New Orleans City Council, a big honor today for Natasha this morning for her reporting on crime, hurricane, and other critical issues during her 26 years here as an award-winning journalist at Fox 8. Described by her colleagues as a brilliant friend and a beacon of charisma and energy, Natasha's unique approach made her a favorite in our newsroom and among the many people she interviewed over the years. New Orleans City Councilwoman Helena Moreno says she will miss seeing Natasha's reports and having her at council meetings. Natasha told the council that she was able to work at her dream job despite the responsibility she was taking on as a teenager when she started.
I was a production assistant. I went from that to assignment desk to producer and then eventually reporter. And that's where I wanted to be. And I stood there for the rest of my time there at Fox 8 and never had a thought of leaving. I absolutely love Fox 8 and the Fox 8 family. But more importantly, the community. I love New Orleans, and the fact that I got to stay here in my hometown, it was just amazing. And I just really thank you and thank the community for opening up on even their darkest days and telling me their stories and allowing me to tell their story. It was just amazing.
And we will miss her too. We miss her every day. Natasha started her new job this week. She's working at her family's business in her hometown of Chalmette as she embarks on the next chapter. Her dedication and creativity, and she's promising to lead, hopefully will lead her to some new heights as well, no doubt about that. However, those who know her, they're confident that she will always remain close to her roots, and it's nice to see her there with members of our staff, the community, council members, and of course her son and her husband. Well,